Hi, and welcome to Platteville Fantasy Podcast Show, episode 31, going into championship week. Who's coming back? It's this guy. But anyway, fantastic. I'm going ballistic here. I couldn't believe what happened with the Chiefs. Couldn't believe what happened with my team. Usually don't do this. I'm usually hanging out with Bill. Um, Not moving on in the playoffs except for the first year. But anyway, I'm back, baby. But okay, just to go right into those games, those amazing games. I'll just start off with the one that I enjoyed the most, and that was obviously the eighth annual Bunkers Chicken Town Party Bowl. What a great bowl to be in. And I won. Thanks to my MVP, Drew Brees, pretty much my season's MVP, him and LaShawn McCoy. Fantastic. Mitch had a pretty good performance with Calvin Johnson, 42, but I got the MVP. Also, we got a Who Got Jod, Jameson, good week, 116 points. Way to keep up. Or way to put a good performance on. Not a good way to keep up, but congratulations to you. You'll be heading off to see if you can get yourself your first third place trophy. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Even Jameson had a really good bench, but even with his best bench in there, still couldn't take it. But I was trying to pick up the Seahawks defense, by the way, which you had a really good team there. A lot of points from Seattle defense, 33. I didn't really need it, but it would have been fun to have that many more points. Anyway, moving on to the matchup between Apollo and the Birds in the 8th annual Red Lobster Claws presents the Kai Force Classic Bowl. Um, yeah, good job by Apollo. Rough time by the Musica Birds. But yeah, Apollo gets invited back to his bowl, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Um, Next matchup, Mitch versus Bill to see who gets the 5th place in my Boulder Bowl. That's where I should be most of the time. But anyway, Mitch pulled it off with a championship belt performance. That was quite the performance, Mitch. I didn't think I couldn't believe it. That was amazing. But Bill, it happens. So it happens to you more than anybody in this league. Not in football, not baseball. But Mitch wound up scoring 101 more points than he did in the other round of playoffs or last week. But that's pretty Mitch-like, you know. Sprint, walk, sprint, walk, sprint. That's the way he does it. In the regular season, he sprinted for a real long time, tried to hold it, but pretty much killed him. Anyway, in the Drew's Penn State Fiesta Bowl, who won this one? Fred took down Kai. Kai just injuries all over, got us nowhere. That was a tough season for you. Fred had a good season, couldn't make the playoffs, but at least you'll be moving on. You're moving on to the that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Bill Bowl for 7th place. So good Turtle Cup standings. Keep fighting out there. You'll be going against Jason. Speaking of that, Jason versus Bunker in the first ever Brian Big Pappy Bowl. This is who got lucky on that one. Come on, Bunker, where were you? You need points for that Turtle Cup. I'm glad you didn't because you took baseball. So, Jason gets to move on to play Fred for that 7th place, which is a lot of points. A lot of points. Bragging rights, anyway. But anyway, Bunker, you failed. Pretty much because Eli Manning failed you. But anyway, Jason put his best team out there because your bench could only score you 2 more points. Or 2 points, not 2 more, because they were horrible. Anyway, your next match, which has its namesake in it, Brian versus Jawman, the first ever Jawman's Marion Bowl, brought to you by the Marion Bowl. This one was A rematch, week 13. Brian won that one 119-74. This one got a little revenge for Ja Man. 111 points to 98 by Brian. Brian, way better season than I thought you would ever had. Ja Man, you get to move on. Oh no, you get something for that one. What did you win? What place did you wind up with? Let me find out. You got 11th, so way to fight back to get that. It's points. Points. Yeah. So it's been a crazy matchup, but get right down to it. We got our upcoming matchups, which are the most important ones. But you got the big ones. You got the Platteville Fantasy League Championship, Apollo's Golden Spike, bringing back for the 4th straight year and 5th overall Apollo. This guy's namesake for a reason, and he's back. Didn't look like he was even going to make the playoffs this year, but he made it, and it was pretty amazing. Pretty amazing run. I'm coming back for my second time. First time since year 1 in 04 when I lost. The heartbreaker to Bottleberg. He won 135 to 132, so this should be a good one. I'm fired up. I've been having good teams in the last 3 weeks, so I can't wait to take you out, Apollo. In the 3rd place round, to get a trophy. Now, if Jameson, if you get this trophy, you tie Mitch for second for all-time trophies in Platteville, because Mitch has 3 third places. You have 2 second places. This will get you a 3rd trophy. So, the last time you were in this was in 05, where you benched your entire team against Kristen and lost 0-106. This is Dan Burr's obviously first time, because every step he goes in the playoffs is the farthest he's ever been. The previous best he had was in 09, which was 8th place. So with Dan Burr, you can get your first trophy. Second one all time. You have a 3rd in baseball, if I'm right. He'll be playing in the Mitch Pitcher Presents 3rd place is a fancy word for losing bowl, because Mitch has been there 3 times, or won it 3 times, I should say. I don't know, he's probably been there more than that. But yeah, that trophy count, if you guys are curious, is Apollo's got 4, gonna have guaranteed 5, whether he gets 1st or 2nd, so he'll have 5. Mitch has 3, Jameson right now has 2, you can get 3, Bunker 2, Kai 2, John 2, Kristen 2, Josh 1, Cerny 1, I have 1, but I'm guaranteed another 1, so I'll have 2, and Dan Burr has 0, and everyone else has 0, but Dan Burr has a chance to get 1. So, like I said before, that's unfortunate. Bill Bowl between Fred and Jason for 7th place. The UPS F this Bussy Bowl between Kai and Bunker for 9th place. So a little recap of the great years that we've had. Talk about past champions since championship week. The recap. In 04 was the tightest match in the first match all time. John 135 to me 132. 3 points separated me from a championship. Still don't have one. Bunker took the first ever 3rd place. In 05, John, the only guy to do it 2 times in a row, beat Kai 78 to 52. That was the worst one of all time. That year, Kristen got 3rd place. In 06, Apollo, big 153 over Jameson, a clash of the Titans, as I like to call it. That was a big year. Mitch took 3rd for his first time of 3 that year. In 07, Erica took down Jameson, going there 2 times in a row. 2nd team to do that. 1st team to get 2nd twice in a row. Erica won 14 to 81. Mitch getting his 2nd straight 3rd place. In 08, Apollo took down Cerny, 116 to 109. Kristen took 3rd place that year. Also, very close match. In 09, Bunker 176, highest ever in a championship, over Apollo 100. Biggest margin of defeat there by 76. That was Apollo's 2nd straight championship game, joining Jameson and John. First one to ever win lose. And last year, Josh's 132 over Apollo's 103. Making Apollo the first time to get there 3 times in a row, and now the first one to get there 4 times in a row. Kai got third last year, Mitch before that third. Here's your recap of championships. I'll dive right into some of the other leagues. So, crazy week in the NFL. Packers lose to the Chiefs. Colts win their first game. Guy decided not to help Tebow. Speaking of, watch the Tebow SNL skit. I guess it's funny. Mitch says so. And Pick'em, low scoring week as a result of all that stuff. Survival, Alyssa picked the Pack. Mitch picked Tennessee. That was pretty crazy. So Jason wins the restart. Congratulations. Not probably gonna restart that one. In hockey, it was a rivalry week. I almost took down Mitch. I tried so hard. Well, tried as hard as I'm gonna do in hockey. Bill shuts out his past roommate. Jason 8-0. Drew loses to his current roommate 7-2. And in the not so rival of J names, maybe Jawman loses to Jameson. Or Jameson loses to Jawman 8-2. Quick note about hockey: Jameson didn't meet his goalie quota this week. Needed at least 3 goalies to make the appearances each week. Wow. In basketball, everyone made it to the draft. I was drafting from a coffee shop where I think probably like 5 of my picks were out of draft because the thing just went off. But I was picking. So that was good. Way to get there, guys. Asking Mish Apollo asked the question, how many teams in the playoffs? 4 or 6. So let's chime in. If you want 4, that means it's gonna be a competitive season. Half the teams get in. If you want 6, then you reward the top 2 teams with buys, and most people get in. So I don't know. But anyway, that's your week. Good luck to everyone except for Apollo, and I hope to have a smile on my face come next week, or probably the final podcast until baseball starts. So, adios.